it's Marcy again with Then and There. I have a new journal I wanted to share with you guys today. I'm having to try to learn a new camera. I got a new phone, new camera, new settings and everything, so bear with me on that. I'm having a hard time finding all the things I want it to do and making it do them. So we'll see how this goes. Anyways, new journal. This one is blue themed, I guess. There's no other theme other than that. It's very eclectic. It's just all things blue and beautiful that I could find and I put in this. It is a soft cover. It's a large, a 9 by 6.5. So let's just jump into it. If I can remember what I'm doing. Pinned on the side here is a fabric and ribbon lace tassel, and it is removable. You can remove that if you want to. Tied around it to close it is a velvet cord that is clipped. It is tied and then clipped with this vintage earring, clip-on earring, which just kind of helps to secure it, hold it closed without having to tie a knot. And it is just loose on there. It comes off. Like I said, it is a fabric cover with the interfacing to give it some structure. And I have just collaged, kind of pieced on a bunch of different fabrics with blue in them, some florals, stripes. I put on these flowers that I cut out of some fabric and collaged those on. I made a little pocket here in the front with some denim and stitched on this little flower, which I cut out from another piece of fabric, layered with some lighter blue fabric. So as you can see the light blue through the petals there. In the pocket I have just very simple, just some plain cards that I've backed with some coffee dyed lined paper, and so you can journal on those, and they're stitched around. I just like the different colors of blue and styles, different cards. You can write different things in there if you choose to. The signatures are stitched into the spine, and here's the back side. There's a bit of lace, some more of that, those flowers from that fabric, and yeah, a little bit of rickrack even stitched on there in a pale blue, a very small piece, and it's stitched all the way around. I left the edges frayed, and they will continue to fray more. And you would just have to trim those off. Clipped on the side here is a little bulldog type clip, and it has a charm on it, the bead and a little butterfly. As you can see, there are tabs along the side, and there are charms and a bit of a tassel here pinned onto the tabs. There's lace and fabric on the edges. This clip is here to hold on this large pocket, which I made out of some blue jeans. It's a blue jean pocket, and I stitched on some more fabric and lace and added some fabric to the back of it to create another pocket. So it has two pockets altogether. In the back are some large journaling cards, a sort of collaged one here on some patterned paper, which is coffee dyed. It's just a large index type card, journaling card, I should say, in the back pocket. And this is left free to float around. You can put it where you want in your journal. In here is a small little collaged tag here with a bird image on it and just some extra coffee dyed paper for journaling. I've pinned on here a little charm with a vintage slide image, and it's from San Francisco, California, and it has a streetcar or cable car image on it, and I just thought that was kind of cool. So that is left free to float around. Oh, I also forgot to mention, I was going to tell you about this. Also, that comes with the journal is this little crocheted pouch that has a button closure, and inside it is, if I can get it unbuttoned, a little vintage brooch with a beautiful blue floral pattern on it. It has the pin back. Picked that up at a garage sale and just thought it went really well with this. I can set that to the side as well. And then we can get into the journal. So, like I said, it's all things beautiful and blue. So we have blue tassel here. There's a bit of white lace fabric on there to create a pocket. So the pocket is a note, what's that called? Like a notepad paper. This is collaged with some napkins. It says each day holds a special promise. Got some fabric stitched along there. And it's stitched all the way around. A vintage wallpaper journaling card here with some coffee dyed paper. A bit of vintage wallpaper on the corner for a little tuck spot. Lots of room to write in here, as well as lots of things that to decorate it. So we have some stamping, some fabric and sari silk stitched on there, an image of some flowers in a vase layered with some vintage wallpaper, bit of stenciling on this, it's called Words Worth Knowing. It was a word book. Did some stenciling, a little bit of graph paper, pattern paper. The tabs are a little different this time. I took tiny pieces of scrap fabric that I had and stitched them together to create like a cluster, and then folded those around and stitched those on, and then pinned a charm on each one. So there are 3 of those staggered throughout the book. It's a large journaling card. This lady right here is sort of the inspiration for this book. She's sort of a gypsy looking girl, dancer. She's holding some flowers, and I just did a collage behind her of different papers and wallpaper, music paper, and then sealed it really well. She is a paper doll, which I have cut out from a book of paper dolls, and this one was specifically opera. I'm trying to think, is that right? Opera? Yeah, opera singers, and this was one of them. I backed it with some coffee dyed paper, stitched all the way around it. That's clipped on there. Oops. A pocket here with some music paper, which I reinforced with some cardstock and stitched on some lace and fabric. A journaling card here with coffee dyed paper. This is a bit of a tuck spot if you wanted to tuck something in there. Some more stenciling on there. A little tuck spot. A collaged journaling card. Got a little book page image here. This is some wrapping from seam binding, which is vintage, some vintage fabric, and then coffee dyed paper on the back. An envelope that I made clips on here. It has some more of that blue tassel and papers on the front. Oh, and I collaged some stamps here that just had a bit of the original envelope still on it, and I just glued the whole thing on and did some stamping on there. I like the way that looks. Inside is some coffee dyed paper, which I did some stamping on. It says Dream a Little Dream. And on this side, hopefully the camera picks it up, there's a bit of a lace detail kind of lightly stamped on the back in blue. And then this postcard. This is a vintage postcard. It doesn't have a year. It is in a place in Paris. I do know that. And yeah, that's all I really know about it. But I really loved the bright blue sky and the bit of blue in the carousel here, and just this image right here is really cool. So I included that. Like I said, that just clips on this page here. There's collage here with a bird image and some pattern paper, sewing pattern paper that is. A bit of leather tassel just pinned onto this fabric flip, which an extra string on there. It's stitched on there. Some just pattern papers collaged together. Some vintage sheet music, which I reinforced with additional paper because it's very old and brittle. I didn't want it to break and fall apart. A book page of bugs. Some more wallpaper. This is a watercolor painting that I did using resist technique, and you can journal on the back of that. It's on watercolor paper, so it's thick. Just a book page collaged on there. Another one of those cluster tabs stitched on there. A stamp of a bird. left on here is a little note card and an index card, which I did a, it's a sticker, but it's a collaged sticker. So I could put that on there, decorated it a little bit. Another one of those collage stickers there to add interest. A vintage wallpaper pocket. And a little card with some fabric stitched on it for journaling. A little bit of stamping. A die cut. That's the other side of the bug page from an insect book. It was a children's book. A pocket here made with the vintage sheet music. Again, reinforced and decorated with some fabric. Folded over and made a tuck spot out of that. This is a tag that I got from Mary Jo at Abundantly Yours, and I added a little extra detail to it and tucked that in there. These are like matte flashcards, I think. I picked them up at a thrift store and just thought they were kind of neat. So, and they have blue on them, so of course they got tucked in here as well. Large pocket with some lace. And here we have a vintage receipt and a book page about blue jays. And I backed that with some coffee dyed paper. Some papers here stitched on. Another one of those slides. This one, I don't know if you can see it, it has a really interesting image of like bars or window bars, and it has the Space Needle behind it. It's from the U.S. Science Building in Seattle. This makes a pocket with some lace, and in here is another collaged journaling card with a book page and some music and other papers on some cardstock. And this is pinned on with the garment pin. Dragonfly, some more stenciling. Another part of the same sheet music, Forever and Ever. And it is reinforced with some washi tape. An image here of some flowers layered with some blue fabric. Some die cuts of little banners stitched on with some vintage fabric. Some more stenciling. Another one of those cluster tabs. A vintage postcard. This one does have a date, I believe, yes, 1914. Love the blue flowers and the bluebird there. I included that. Some more fabrics and seam binding stitched on here for decoration. This is the last pocket, and I put my stamp there and a little bird collage with some fabric and some fiber and left it out, sticking out a little bit. This is a collage tag that I made a long time ago that I found while I was working on this, and I loved the blues. Some stamping, a little collaged image of the sun and a boat, and a dictionary definition. It says abandon and abandoned. I don't know. I can't explain why. I made it a long time ago. And another large journaling card. And the lace pocket wraps clear to the back with some more of that tassel, which is stitched on. In the back pocket here is a large tabbed index card, which is great to use as a writing board. It's very stiff, so it's great for that. So I included that. And this is a book page from an 1800s, or excuse me, early 1900s, 1900 something, 4 or 9, I can't remember. And it has these beautiful blue flowers, and it has a little sentiment there. And on the other side is another sentiment, a poem. So it's a very old book page there that I've included for you to do what you want with it. So that is the journal. It will be listed in my Etsy, of course. Oh, that's not good. I'm going to have to fix that. Little charm came off. But yeah, this is the blue, my latest journal. I'm not sure what I'm calling it yet. I'm sure in the title it will have a name. It'll have a title in the title. So, okay, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.